Hey everyone, this is just a quick intro tutorial for how you're going to go about creating a stop motion project. So we're not using fancy cameras this time because some people are at home, some people are at school, every other day you're at home. So the easiest way to do this is to use the camera that is in your pocket. You are welcome to do most of this at home or most of it at school as long as you do it. But the key is with stop animation or stop motion, you have to take multiple pictures and essentially recreate the scene that way. So we're going to be making videos that are about 10 frames per second, which means it's 10 pictures per second, or a picture for every 100 milliseconds. So what you got to do is you're going to take whatever prop you have and pen, and you're going to go to your camera app on your phone. Then on your phone, you're going to go and you're going to create the scene. So literally, you're just going to hold it as still as you can, take a picture, then change it slightly, take a picture, and you can go slowly, you can quickly. Just don't rush because it is definitely easier to recreate this, or it's definitely easier to cut extra frames out than it is to add frames in later. So you're going to take your pictures that way, and I would recommend doing a test run just to see and so you have an idea of how fast this needs to go. Then once you've taken your pictures, you're going to go to your computer, and I'm going to just fix this so it's showing the screen. Display capture. There we go. And I'll make it so it fits. Okay, so you're going to go to your computer now, and in this case, transfer the photos to the computer whichever way you want. So you can use a lightning or a USB cable to drag the photos over. If you're using Google Docs, if you're using Google, you can go to Google Photos if you have that enabled. And in Google Photos, in this case, you can see I made these pictures. Then you can just select them all by using these little check marks. And if you go to the top right, there's a little 3 dots and you can download. iCloud has a similar function. So you just need to do something to get the photos onto your computer. Even if you go on your phone and you share it to your OneDrive, that works too. So in this case, I did this and hit download. If you do that with Google Docs, with Google Photos, with iCloud, with OneDrive, it's likely going to give you a zip folder like this. So in this case, on a Mac, if you just double click on the zip folder, it'll automatically unzip it and make a folder beside it. On Windows, you have to right click it and hit extract here. And then once you finish all that, you should end up with a folder with your stop motion photos in it. Now in this case, there are, how many photos here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 5, there's 32 photos here. This makes about 1 second of footage, so just a heads up on that. You're likely going to want to create scenes folders. So in this case, maybe this is scene 1, the roundhouse kick. So I'm going to say scene, I guess I said scene 2, so I'll say scene 1, the roundhouse kick. I'll copy everything down here and then move it into the folder. So then you can have all of your photos in the one folder. Then, okay, time for the second scene. Take the pictures, make a new folder, scene 2, the aftermath. This is going to be a really easy way to organize yourself, and when you're dealing with this many photos, this is going to be your best bet. And also, I wouldn't necessarily rename the photos because as you see here, your phone automatically makes timestamps or ID stamps. So in this case, all the photos are in order. I don't exactly know what the rhyme or reason is for the ID, but the photos are in order. So this works. So then you have your scenes there. You can use a program of your choice. So you can use iMovie if you have a Mac at home. You can use Windows Video Editor if you have a Windows computer at home. Both work. Essentially what you got to do is you got to throw it in there, and then you got to make each picture worth half a second. I will make a quick tutorial for Windows Video Editor when I'm at home this week. But another option is to download DaVinci Resolve. And it's on the Macs already, so you could theoretically take all your pictures at home and at school, and then on your school days put them into DaVinci. But if you're at home and isolated, then Windows Video Editor, or download this so you have a higher end one. So this is a free application, but it's a full-blown video editor, kind of like Premiere Pro, but free. And I'm just going to load it here. Okay, and I'm just going to hit Untitled Project because I want to make a new project. Now, here's instructions for DaVinci. Before you even begin, you're going to want to go up to File and do Project Settings. And you'll have this frames per second here. And this frames per second, you're going to want to do 10 frames per second. And then timeline, you want to switch that as well down to, I guess they don't let me go too far, so I'm going to leave it where it is. But you want to switch playback to 10 frames per second. And then hit save. Now, to insert the photos, I'm just going to go and open them in here. So we have the folder open. And I'm just going to select all the photos and drag them in. So you just drag them to the media pool. And now they're in. Now there's a couple different ways to do this, but there's a couple neat features in DaVinci that make it nice and easy. So technically, I can just again select all. And I'll just switch to edit. And then I'm just going to place them right in like that. Now all your photos are in here, but they're each about like 3 seconds. So if I hit play right now, it's barely even moving. It's going to go really slow. But if you now select all, and if you right click, there's change clip duration. So in change clip duration, we're going to switch to frames, and we're going to make it so each of these are worth 1 frame. And hit change. And now there's a whole bunch of space. So you just need to click out here, and then you're going to select all again. So Command A or Control A. And then at the top, they have edit, and there's this fancy delete gaps. So nice and easy. You just hit delete gaps, and all of a sudden, all the space between your clips is removed. And now it looks like one big dense clip, but if I zoom in, you can see there's a whole bunch of individual clips here. But when I hit play now, on the right side, you'll see that now it's one fluid kind of animation. I have the pen moving back and forth, and then it hits the camera. But do note that, again, this is just over 1 second long. So, be prepared, you're going to need to take a lot of photos to make this work. And actually in this case, I'll play around with playback time and figure that out, but as you can see, it animates. So now, if you're in DaVinci, once you get all of your clips in, and if you want to add titles and stuff, you can. There's the, you go to Cut, and there's Titles. So you can add titles if you want. You can add transitions, but really I don't think you need transitions. If you want it to stay on something a bit longer, you can. So in here, maybe once it comes back and goes like this, maybe I want it to stay on that picture a bit longer. You can just go like this and make it a bit longer. Like that. And so now when you watch it, the 1 frame is going to be a bit longer, and that's okay. Because that makes the effect of a pause, which is very natural and very cool to see. So, that's different ways you can do this animation, but the idea is you're taking a bunch of photos, and you're going to upload them from your phone to the computer, and then put them into either Windows Video Editor, iMovie, or DaVinci Resolve. If you're in DaVinci afterwards, you can go Deliver, and they'll give you an option to do, you just click YouTube, and I'll give you options on here that you set it at, and then it'll work. You can either do a silent film, so no voice, but in that case you're going to want to either make a GarageBand background sound or find a royalty-free music in the background. Otherwise, you can add dialogue, but when you add dialogue, what you have to do is you have to do it at your computer or with your phone. So you use a voice recorder app from the App Store or the Play Store, and then again you upload the audio into here and you can put the audio down here. Or you can go to the Mac or the computer and you can record audio to put in here right away, just using the voice recorder, audio recorder. Which might not be built in anymore, so either way, you can use voice memos on your phone. So that's the idea. If you have any questions, let me know.